and welcome to this edition of your favorite podcast. What's the name of it again? Now You Novi. I am with my good friend Aaron Staup. He is our construction engineer in our Department of Public Works, and we're here to talk about everyone's favorite topic, road construction. Dun, dun, dun.
There's not enough to go around.
This year isn't so bad, though.
No, last year takes the cake.
Last year
far.
takes the cake by far. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think our residents would agree with
They've
that.
still got some difficulties, but this should be far less intrusive.
Yeah, a lot smoother this year for sure.
Without the 96 construction going on.
And then one I won't name between 13 and...
Yeah. There are four initials. I can't.
Yeah.
Can't recall.
Four initials that start with GLWA. I won't talk about that one.
Yeah. Yep.
But thankfully that's over, and we're on to a new road construction season. And you are here to give us some progress updates.
Yeah, I can run through several of the projects that are currently in the hopper.
Sweet.
And ones that are be coming up soon.
Yeah.
Probably this later this spring and summer.
Yeah, so we want to talk first. You just came out of a progress meeting about 9 miles. So you want to talk about that one first?
Yeah, 9 Mile from Meadowbrook to Haggerty.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably 2 weeks into it now. We just had a progress meeting for it. Contractors on schedule. There were 3 main storm sewer crossings that needed to happen first. And they were able to get those done. Now it's all eastbound only traffic.
Mm-hmm.
So from Meadowbrook to Haggerty, westbound will be closed for the duration. So no matter which side we're working on, it will always be eastbound. They got started working on the removals of the westbound lane.
Okay.
That'll take a couple weeks to get all that torn out and start bringing the stone grade back up. And then pave that side. And then we'll do the same thing probably August before we switch over to do the east side.
Okay, sounds good. So what are we thinking timeline-wise, man? Late September-ish?
Yes, probably.
Aaron hates when I ask him this question, by the way.
Let's go with mid-September.
Yeah.
Give me a couple week buffer. So, yeah, probably mid-time September. And then that will bleed into the second part of the 2-road project,
Right.
which is Meadowbrook. From 10 to 11 mile.
Mm-hmm.
So
And Meadowbrook isn't starting until after 9 Mile is done, correct?
9 Mile is complete, correct. That way, any kind of detours are not going to stumble on each other.
Yeah, so the detour doesn't have a detour.
Correct. That's no fun.
Right.
So that's kind of the gist of 9 Mile. We can go over a couple county projects.
Yep, that's where I was going, yep.
Oakland County, the road commission for Oakland County, as you know, is doing Novi Road from 8 Mile to 9 Mile. It was up in the air for a while because everything was kind of hinged around what is Wayne County going to do with 8 Mile bridge over the CSX tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we have word, and Wayne County decided to postpone their project until January of 26. So that opens the door. Now the county, Oakland County, can start work sooner on the Novi Road portion.
Yeah, and I know people in the area are not happy about that, but there's always extenuating circumstances with road construction, and there's utilities there. There's a lot of
there is a mess
right there,
of utilities. So that's like phase 1 of the project, which I would assume DTE and Consumers Gas will probably start mid-May on relocating a lot of their facilities. With DTE, it's a complete shift of all the overhead electrical from the west side of the road moving to the east side of the road.
Oh, wow.
So we can get all the widenings in and sidewalk and curb because we're in its current configuration. There's no room. So that's going to take a little bit.
Yeah, massive project.
So even with these utility projects at the start of the construction, There's going to be some miscellaneous lane closures from here to there, but they'll be moving closures as they go.
Okay.
So it shouldn't impact too much. I requested the businesses and motorists coming in and out of those plazas, just be mindful that, sight distance will be lessened when that happens.
And there may be people working there.
Yes. Yep. Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
So then that'll bleed into phase 2, which RCOC is going to be submitting plans, I believe, this week to MDOT for approval. And if that takes place, they hopefully get on the bid letting for July 11th, I believe it is. And then we can have a contractor on board, hopefully putting a shovel in the ground by August.
All right.
So phase 2 is just the southern half of 8 to 9 miles. So it goes from 8 Mile to Allen Drive.
Right.
Most of that is located in the city of Northville. And that will be all fall and probably a good portion of the beginning of winter of this year to get that complete.
All right.
And that is a full closure.
Full closure of Novi Road.
Full closure of Novi
South
Road.
of
Allen Drive.
Allen Drive.
Yep.
To 8 Mile.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep all that information updated on Better Roads Ahead. You want to talk about some good news, though? We just had a project finish up on the north end.
Yes, we did. We were replacing a leaky valve that we've had a hard time with over the last.
When that happens.
It's on our 36-inch main transmission line, so it services just about all of Novi in one form or another. So in order to do that, we have to shut it down, and we have to work with City of Wixom and start, moving water around in different patterns. And it was located right in the intersection of South Lake, 13 Mile, and Old Novi Road. So we had to do some finagling to get that lane closed, and contractor jumped right on it quickly. It only took them 3 weeks to do the valve work, backfill everything, compact and pave it, get the cure time on the concrete that we put back. And we officially opened it yesterday afternoon.
Nice. And kudos to you. I forgot to mention Beck Road, the preservation overlay, and 11 Mile both got done in 1 day each.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations on that. That was phenomenal.
The advantage.
As I was getting questions, I'm like, just hold on a couple hours. It'll be done. Like, I didn't want to say it, but.
Right. You're like, no way.
Didn't want to jinx it.
No way. Yeah. Sometimes I lie about that stuff. But yeah, there was an advantage of having the contractor, the milling contractor, all on board. And at the beginning of the season, where they don't have any other projects started up. So they had an army of folks.
And that project actually started way earlier than it was supposed to. It was supposed to start in June, and it moved way up.
It was our hope to avoid the school season, but the availability of the milling contractor, which is the most important part, he could come out right now, and he couldn't tell us when he could come back out if we didn't go this time.
Right. So
we tore the Band-Aid off, and we said, if you can get it done in 1 day, we'll go with it.
Nice. Well, they got it done.
Yeah.
You want to talk about another little project you have going on here?
This is my favorite project.
Your favorite project.
Every year, we do a neighborhood road program.
So if you see a construction notice, well, actually, that's not the first thing. This guy is the first thing.
That one comes out first.
This one comes out first. So if you see this in your neighborhood, you know that there is something about to happen from the neighborhood road maintenance program.
Yeah, we try to get those out 2 to 3 weeks out ahead of time.
And it's at the ends of the construction zone.
Limits, yep. And then about a week and a half, 2 weeks, we put out this door hanger. It's kind of general information, a little bit more than just this sign. And then probably 2 to 3 days before construction really starts, then we hand out a specific flyer that's detailed and it informs a resident everything they need to know and where to go for more information.
And that's great. This is a great way to communicate. And then the website is also updated. I believe we have all of the roads that are already scheduled for this year, not the ones that, depending on what happens, may be added or not. But the ones that are scheduled are there. The detours are there if there are detours associated with it.
Yep.
On Better Roads Ahead, cityofnovi.org/Better Roads Ahead. So any updates with the roads program? It just got started.
Yep, the asphalt program.
asphalt
We do
started,
two
yeah.
programs, asphalt and concrete. The asphalt program started maybe 2 weeks ago, and they started on Amberlin Court. It's right off of 9 Mile. That has already had all the pavement removed, the stone base chopped down to the subgrade, and installed the edge drain on both sides, and brought the stone all the way up, and they're ready to pave probably tomorrow.
Nice.
At least the first lift.
Sure. So a question about that. So, because we get this question a lot, and I also wonder, once they mill out the old asphalt,
Right.
is it safe to drive on the base or whatever is under? I don't know what the proper term is, but what's underneath there?
We evaluate it first to make sure. Sometimes the soils aren't great, and we have to hog those out as well. Those are called undercuts. But we'll have it barreled off if you can't drive on it.
Right. So if you cannot drive on it, it will be obvious.
Yes.
Do not drive here.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. And then we always get questions about driveways. How is this going to affect my driveway? Am I going to be blocked in? With asphalt, it's a little easier.
It's easier.
Because the cure time doesn't take as long.
Right.
Yeah.
And so even at stone grade, throughout the process of putting in the stone back in, we'll still ramp the driveways temporarily in at the end of every day, whatever's necessary, so people can always have access to their drives for asphalt on asphalt streets.
Right, and you'll still be able to take out your trash. You'll still be able to get the mail. Those sorts of things will not change.
Right. Yeah, we just ask that people treat the garbage as usual. Just bring it out to the curb as you normally would. If the garbage truck can't reach it, the contractor will, personally move all the cans to the location where they can be picked up, and then bring the cans back.
That's very nice of them.
Yeah. We try to make sure we get it in the contract. So
Right. Or
incidental costs.
Yeah, they don't get paid, right? So concrete streets are different, though.
Yes.
And that project is supposed to launch in June?
Mid-June.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us a little bit about how the concrete streets work.
Concrete is harder because it's obviously, one, it's a thicker section. And then concrete takes a little longer to remove. And obviously you've got cure time in order to get strength on the concrete, which takes up to 7 days.
So this is an important point because people always ask us, well, they started a week ago or whenever it was, and nobody's been here for a week. What's the problem? Why aren't these guys working? It's bright and sunny outside. It hasn't been raining for a month. Why aren't they working?
Yeah. So for one, they're probably waiting on cure time for the concrete. But two, they are working. They're just on another street doing another segment. When it's nice out, they're out there working. Great contractors, both of them for both programs. Worked in Novi many times. They're easy to work with, and you and I get along well with them.
Yep. So both of those projects are also on cityofnovi.org, Better Roads Ahead. You can get the information there. Let's talk about the topic of the day, the chip seal project. There's chip sealing project about to happen up in the north end.
Well, all around the city.
All around the city.
But a majority of the streets are located around Walled Lake.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. So first tell us what chip sealing is.
Chip sealing is taking the existing gravel road and applying an emulsifier to kind of seal all the stones together. It acts kind of like a pavement, but it's a very cheap way to maintain inexpensive. Thank you. To maintain a lot of different roads all at once. So there are 36 total segments of chip seal roads that we have in Novi, and we're going to tackle all of them in one program year.
Okay.
So about every 5 years, we try to do a maintenance project on all our chip seal streets. It's a very fast program.
So when you say fast, what does that mean? So if you're working on my section of street.
So first thing they're going to do is go through each project street and determine where we put spray patch. It's kind of just a quick Band-Aid of stone that's blown into the potholes that have been created or large cracks. It's very quick. It takes maybe an hour. You can drive on it immediately.
Okay.
So that gets the road surface, everything level and where we need it. And then they'll come in and chip seal it. And it comes in two processes. First, the truck will have this fine stone called chip stone that they lay down in like a half-inch level. And then the next truck comes through with the emulsifier.
From edge to edge, full width?
From edge to edge of the existing chip seal surface.
Okay.
So we don't go out into the shoulders, into people's yards, or even match up to driveways.
Okay.
That transition point, I get that question a lot too. What about the apron portion of my driveway?
I got that question today, as a matter of fact.
So there are so many different types, driveway transitions, and they're in varying condition. And grades, and slope and grades. We can't stop and come back and do every single one of those. So those are still on the homeowner.
Okay.
To transition however they wish.
Okay.
Whether it was stone or asphalt or concrete.
Okay.
They got all kinds.
Sure. All right. That's the bulk of everything. Anything else you want to talk about? What am I missing here? Let me look at better roads ahead. There's some stuff coming up. You want to talk about what's coming up?
Yeah, we can go through a couple. Like we said, Meadowbrook.
Yep.
Will go after 9 miles complete. We have 13 mile between M5 and Haggerty. That's also an MDOT-let project that we're cooperating with the state with some funding. That is also another quick project. It should take maybe a month.
So that's M5 to Haggerty. So our friends at Fox Run and at Brightmoor don't have to worry about that.
They shouldn't.
So yeah.
Yeah. But that will be closed, completely closed.
Sure.
For two reasons. One, it doesn't receive that amount of traffic. It doesn't have a whole lot of businesses located there, or they have alternate access routes.
Gotcha.
And closing it just shrinks that construction window down to just mere weeks rather than months. So that's why we decided to do that.
Sounds good. What else you got?
Oakland County is also doing another project. They're replacing a culvert on Haggerty Road between 13 mile and 14 mile. That project also has to be closed. So Haggerty has to be closed in order to do that.
Completely closed?
Yeah.
North and south?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that take about, I think they're estimating around 3 to 4 weeks to do that as well.
And we have that detour map on the website. So.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
We talked about Novi Road. No, we didn't. Novi Road bridge over the CSX track, so just south of Main Street.
We did not talk about that, correct.
Okay. They're doing some preventative maintenance on that bridge this year. They haven't given us a date yet, but there'll always be 2 lanes of traffic available during that construction. Should take 3 weeks at the most.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
It's just so nice to have 696. Maybe not for all the drivers and residents here. People got to use it, but I was on it the other day.
Yeah.
Just the detour is amazing. It takes you all the way down the Davis and to get around it. And it's just so nice that it's over there now and not here.
Not in my backyard.
Right. So Southfield can feel it now.
Right. They can feel the pain.
Right.
Yeah.
Some future projects that we have in the hopper that we're looking at for maybe next year or the year after.
Now, these won't be on the website because they're not until next year or after. But
Right.
Yeah.
So West Park Drive from 12 Mile to Pontiac Trail, we're looking to do that maybe next year. It's a full rehab, not a full reconstruction. So that means removing all the base stone. We're just maybe more of a mill and fill is what we call it.
Okay.
Just milling off the existing asphalt, addressing the shoulders too. But I think there's some storm sewer that has to be redone in that area. So it's kind of a mix of fixes on that. We're also looking at Novi Road from 13 Mile to 14 Mile.
Okay.
The funding or the time schedule for that project hasn't been realized yet, but we're looking at it heavily. It just recently got spray patched last week, I think.
So that brings something to mind, and I think people, and maybe you can explain this a little bit. So once we see a need for a road to be worked on, it isn't just, okay, guys, throw on your hard hats and get your bulldozer and go knock it out. There are a lot of things that have to come into play that have to sort of be orchestrated in order to get to the point where you're actually doing the work.
Right.
Funding, contractors. Can you talk a little bit about some of those things? Just so people can get a better idea of the process.
There is so much behind the scenes that takes place.
Coordinating with other agencies.
Everybody, there are a lot of people within the city besides myself that are involved at the very early stages, the planning stages, the budgetary stage, and those don't always jive. So we got to move the puzzles around the board until everything has its place. And best laid plans, things get messed up. Whether it's the counties deciding to do their project or something else happened.
Unforeseen
emergency
circumstances
happened. We had to move funding around. Hey, this project is on hold for another year or two. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. I don't envy those people that they just hand me the stuff and said, here, build this. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of work that goes into, Rebecca and Jeff and Ben Croy. They put a lot of the time and effort into making sure we got something that's good to build. That's
the right thing to build.
Yes.
Right. Because we don't want to keep coming back and, we forgot to do this, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And there are a lot of people involved outside of the city in terms of contractors and subcontractors and subs of subcontractors.
Yep.
The utilities companies, like you were saying earlier, have to be involved sometimes. So it's a really big process. And sometimes people may forget how big of a deal it is to build because it's so easy. You just drive on the road. Oh, this is easy.
Yeah.
All you got to do is put some stuff down and
when the product's done,
smooth, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a shame that
even working with different materials, there's only certain times a year you can get asphalt.
Just in Michigan, period.
Yeah.
Our construction window is, primarily from May through October. We don't have the benefit of some of the southern states' weather, and they work all year round.
I'm telling you, I was in Florida between Orlando and Tampa.
Oh, sorry.
Man, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's like that all the time. I was down there probably 10 years ago in that same location, and it was the same way.
Lakeland, where the Tigers have spring training, that's where I was going. It's right halfway in between.
You got to get me some tickets.
Hey, man, we'll talk after. We'll talk after. I know a guy.
Yeah.
I'll see if Brad can get you some of those good seats down there
Brad,
in the home plate club.
Thanks, Brad.
Well, nice. Thank you for joining us, Aaron. That really helps bring some clarity to some of the road construction projects that we have going on, some of the reasons why things are the way they are.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions, you can always email communityrelations@cityofnovi.org. We try and answer everything on the Better Roads Ahead website. Sometimes there's a little delay between when we get information and when we're able to put it up on the website, but we do the best we can. And we're always here to answer questions. We get emails multiple times a day during construction season, and we do our best to answer them. So
very good.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
you're
you.
Quite welcome.
Me and Aaron have become very close over the last year or so.
Yeah, we have to. We have to remain that way.
Yes, because we are partners and friends. Yes.
Yep.
Team Novi. Woohoo! All right. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you. And looking forward to better roads ahead.
Now,
Dude.
you know
Now you Novi. Thank you.
Thanks
Thanks
Damon.
everybody.